Hello everybody, my name is Jonathan and welcome to Barely Unbox. Today we're back with a MotU video. It is MotU Monday. I have multiple things I wanted to open and I'm lumping them all together. I have a few more, but I'm going to do a separate video for those because they are the Thundercats figures, so I'll give them their own video. But today we have 3 cartoon collection figures to look at, as well as this 40th anniversary Princess of Power, Masters of the Universe Princess of Power, and this is the She-Ra and Swiftwind 2-pack. I have had this for a while, but I was sick for like a few weeks and I didn't get to it. And then Halloween came and I had to do Halloween videos. So today is the day. I had not opened it out of the box yet. So I figured I would do it on camera. So it has a certificate. Oh, this is cool. That is the certificate. Look at that. Celebrating 40 years. It's embossed. I'm probably just going to leave it in this wrapper for now because I want to keep it nice. And then this just is a certificate of authenticity for this. It's very cool. And then it says 1985 right here, which is the year that She-Ra came out. Here is the box on the inside. So let me get this out of here. This is huge. I'm kind of impressed. Wow. It is really cool. I mean, like, they put a lot of work into this packaging. It's beautiful. It has like the She-Ra headdress here, and this is, I think, like kind of more like She-Ra, like her sword and shield kind of have this look to them sometimes. And it has a red gem that says 40, and you can see it's glossy. It's embossed right there. And then on the back it says 40 for the honor of Grayskull, celebrate the 40th anniversary of She-Ra, Princess of Power, with Masters of the Universe Origins Cartoon Collection, She-Ra and Swiftwind, featuring the iconic hero of Etheria and her noble steed as retro-style figures. So that is exciting. And then it does say She-Ra and Swiftwind here, and then Masters of the Universe, Princess of Power. And this is also like embossed. You can kind of feel the glossiness of it. And it does say Mattel there. This is the same thing on the back. Alright, so it looks like this just comes up. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. The way this is packaged. Here, let's put this in the background. So we have like a little backdrop back here. Wow, that is amazing. Oh, and her hair is, I didn't realize this, or I just forgot. Her hair is translucent. Yeah, it's very, oh my god, look at this artwork on the back. Jeez. It even has the sorceress in the backdrop behind the figure. This is gorgeous. So the wings are not attached so that it could be packaged, I'm assuming. Unless the wing just came off. Maybe it popped out of it. It looks like it just pops right in, so it's probably not a big deal. She even has a cloth goods cape, you can see. But this artwork right here, this is like frameable artwork. I mean, that is really, really, really gorgeous. Okay, so I don't know if this, I think that slides up, but it seems to be kind of stuck. Let me see. Maybe the bottom comes off. Okay, so the bottom does come off. that. So that's a really cool display. And it looks like, is it taped or what's going on here? And then, okay. Then that lifts off. And then now you can see the figure without the glare. Alright, and then this looks like it lifts right off of here. Okay. And then, oh, okay, so this is part of, it's like attached to the inside. And then here's what that looks like, and that's so cool. So that's what's on the front of this, is the castle. And I can't remember the name of the castle. It's been a while since I've actually watched She-Ra. Like, I watched it a few years ago. I went through and watched the whole series again, and He-Man and the Masters of the Universe as well. Because She-Ra, little fun fact, they ended the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe show and started the She-Ra show as a continuation of the story. And they made new figures, you know, and they were the She-Ra figures all had, they were the Princess of Power figures. They all had brushable hair, so their weapons would also be a comb or a brush, and they were targeting more towards girls, but it still felt like the same kind of show as Masters of the Universe, just a different toy target audience. So I always find that interesting that they ended He-Man to start this one. Just a little fun fact there. Okay, so here's what this looks like, and it looks like both wings are not attached, so I think that's by design, and then you just attach them yourself. Alright, so I am going to get this out of the plastic, and then we will take a closer look. Alright, so we got both of them out of the packaging. Here is the She-Ra. She does not want to stand up very well. This hair they gave her is very heavy. There we go. I think she'll stand up. Maybe not. Try. There we go. She just does not want to stand up very well because of that really thick hair. Okay, I think we got her to stand up. I don't know. She looks like she could fall over at any moment. So here is, and she did fall over. Okay, I don't have, do I have any stands? I don't think I have any figure stands handy. Here, let me do this. That'll help her balance better. There we go. Okay, so I want to take a look at Swiftwind first. So here he is without his wings on. I just thought we would take a look at him this way. His joints are a little stiff and they're ratchety. You hear that? I'm sure you can hear that. Yeah, they're ratchety. So that's a good thing though, because then he'll stand. Yeah, so he can stand even with a hoof up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so there he is standing. He is pretty cool. He has a lot of articulation. And before I put the wings on, I'll go ahead and show that to you because I think it'll be easier. So he has kind of an interesting thing. You can turn him into just Swiftwind without all the attachments to him. We'll do that too. But the mane and the tail are somewhat translucent. You can kind of see that on camera better than I can here because the light is shining through it. It's really cool. And he also has, like, it almost looks like he has two saddles. And I don't remember if that's how it looks on the show, so I'll have to remind myself and find like a clip or something. But yeah, so the legs are ratchety, and then they also, like here, like on the hip, if you want to call that a hip. But they also have articulation here and can spin. And then they have articulation here and can also spin. And then the hoof has articulation, and that can also spin, I think. Yeah, so there is tons of articulation on this. And all the legs have that same articulation, just slightly different in the front legs. And then the head can turn, which is really awesome. But it can also, I think, yeah, it can go like that. It can go up and down, and that's not ratchety. And then the head up here can go up and down, but can also swivel a bit. And then the mask can come off, and then you just have Swiftwind without the horn and everything. So I think that's really cool. This actually reminds me of the Pokemon Rapid Dash because of this looks like flames, so that's kind of funny. And it looks like all of these pieces can come off. The wings are actually attached to this piece that can come off. So once you get the wings on, I think this is the one that goes here, you can take those off. I think I got that in. I don't know. They're kind of like, I would suggest warming up the joints, but I forgot to get a hairdryer, so I think we're fine just like this. All right, so there is Swiftwind with the wings. Pretty cool. Love it. And you can see the saddle here has little stirrups for the feet. So, I mean, there's so much detail to this horse, or Pegasus, or, you know, it's a horse that turns into a Pegasus. Now, the wings also have articulation, and I just moved She-Ra, now she won't stand up again. So the wings can go like this. They can spin, and then they can also go like this. So you can kind of fold them in if you wanted to. I think I might have put these on the wrong side. I don't know. I don't know if I put them on the wrong... If I put them on the wrong side or not. I put these joints on the inside because I thought that looked better. But you can always switch them. I can always switch them later if I realize I put them on the wrong side. All right, so that is Swiftwind, and so we'll just put him right there. And now let's take a look at She-Ra. So this is the She-Ra you get, and it does have this soft goods cape. It was taped into the box or into the plastic, and I had to be very careful so I wouldn't damage it to get it out. I love the way they did the shield. The shield and the sword are both really cool looking. They have like a translucency to them, like she's using her powers. And this hair is also translucent, which is really pretty. And the boots are also translucent. You can kind of see her plastic leg where it ends on the inside. So that's kind of neat. And they do swivel, and the ankles go up and down and swivel. The knees also swivel and go up and down. And the legs at the hip go up and down. Head can turn and go at angles. You know, you can tilt it. There's shoulder, elbow, and wrist articulation. And the hand that holds the sword is pretty much like the other version of her cartoon collection, where she can kind of hold it straight up in the air like she does in the cartoon, which is really cool. Now, I do have her other cartoon collection here to kind of compare them. So this is the comparison. You can see the original one's shield is not translucent. The sword is also not translucent. And the hair. And the hair is very different. I really like the hair on this one. I was concerned that I was going to like this one better than this one and just put this one on Swiftwind. But I really like the soft goods cape compared to the plastic one too. It's just so much more dramatic. The faces look about the same, but this new one, it looks like the eyes might be painted a little differently. I don't know if you can see that. I kind of like the face on this one better than the new one, but everything else about this new one I like even more. So alright, so let's see if we can get her to sit on Swiftwind. So she does have her tunic can stretch because it has little like cutouts in it, so then you can get her feet in these stirrups. There we go. Oh, that one came out. And there she is riding Swiftwind, which that is pretty epic. And then I would probably put the wings down a bit so you can see her. I feel like the wings, I wish they bent down a little more so that you could see her riding it, but that's pretty much as good as that gets. So, well, that is really, 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 that was worth the money, I definitely think. I can't remember exactly how much I paid for this, but it was from MotU Creations. I don't think it's available anymore, but I will try to put a link if it is. It might be available other places. But yeah, this was definitely, I had to get this. I've been wanting a Swiftwind for my He-Man and She-Ra figure collection for so long, and they did not disappoint. I will show you what the horse looks like without everything later on. It might just be in photos at the end of the video, because I want to get these other three out of the box. So we're going to put her over here. And I think we will just go right into Hordak, because Hordak is the main villain for She-Ra. And I don't have a Hordak in my collection. So this is really exciting for me to have this. And he is the ruthless leader of the evil horde. And this is part of the 40th She-Ra anniversary collection. It has Hordak's face at the top. This is not punched out because I got this from Amazon. This was a gift from someone from Amazon. So unfortunately the barcode is covered. I tried to take this off and it was ripping the cardboard. So I'll try to put a link to this to Amazon if you want to order him. There are two others that were in the wave that he was in, and I don't have either of these, and I really want both of them. I do have a regular non-cartoon collection version of Man-E-Faces, but I don't have a Triclops in my collection at all, so I really want to get him. He is part of Skeletor's bad guys from He-Man, and then he's from She-Ra, and then he's a hero from He-Man in the Masters of the Universe. So this is the packaging. They've all been coming in this 40th anniversary. In fact, both of these other figures have the 40th anniversary packaging for She-Ra as well. All right, so let's look at the back of this. There's artwork of him. He has Imp, his little sidekick pet, and this features this time stop device as an accessory, and it says it was as seen on Loki lends a hand. Or, I'm sorry, Lookie lends a hand. Lookie is the little creature that you would look for in every episode of She-Ra and the Princess of Power cartoon. He was always hiding somewhere, and then he would tell you at the end where he was. I don't think he's actually in this artwork, which I think is really funny. Like, they should have put him in here, like hiding, or I'm just not seeing him. The only thing about this figure that I'm a little disappointed with is that I feel like instead of this accessory, this time stop device, he should have just came with a little figure of Imp. I think that would have been so much cooler, and because there's no little figure of Imp yet in the Origins figures. All right, so let's get him out of here. And and we knocked over She-Ra, and the wings are falling off and everything. Oh my gosh. Okay, feet came out of the stirrups. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Okay. All right, now that we knocked her over, I had to stand her back up. So this is the inside of the packaging. I kind of ripped it, but this is Castle Grayskull. Here is the comic book. Each one of these does come with a comic book, and all three of these in this series, or in this wave, I should say, all would come with this same comic book. I love the artwork in this, and this one's called Slime Lorn Part 2 of Horde Invasion. And I might have... I don't know if I don't think I have Part 1 in any of these other two, and I don't have it with me right now. But this is the comic on the inside, and the artwork in here is always so detailed. They're not very long, and it always has other characters from the lines in it. So this is there was an accessory back in the 80s of a slime pit kind of thing, and if you got slime on you, it would like mutate you or something, if I remember right. And then here's the final. Now this is sort of like a teaser for figures that were going to be coming out after this. And they did come out with both of them, and I don't have them yet. And I do need to get both of those, because I want to get all the She-Ra Cartoon Collection figures. So this little pamphlet here just shows you what parts you can remove and swap between the figures, because these are modular figures, and they're all about being able to swap parts, which I think is interesting. I don't really know if people do that. I never have really. He is being held in by a couple little plastic fasteners. I'm not sure why they do that, to be honest. I don't think they're going anywhere inside that bubble. And here is Hordak out of his packaging. I absolutely love Hordak's design. I think he's one of the coolest designed villains from the 80s cartoons that I would watch. He has like a mohawk. He kind of looks like a skull or a bat. He has the Horde logo, which is like a bat. And he's got the like flipper type feet, which I think is really cool. And these have so much articulation. Just like the She-Ra figure, they have all that same articulation, which I think is really cool. And he has this armor that goes on the outside of him, which I think frames his face really well. It looks like bones. I always thought that was really cool. And here is the time stop device. It's just a hunk of plastic with a handle on it, but they did paint the Horde logo on it, which is nice. And he can hold it in his hand like that. So pretty cool. I still would have loved for this plastic piece to have instead been Imp, because I really, really want an Imp figure in this series. So there they are together. He's trying to stop time so he can rule Etheria, and of course She-Ra's going to stop him. But I think, he needs some help to fight against her, because all villains have, they're henchmen, but these are Skeletor henchmen, or at least characters from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So this is Fang Man, the evil fanged minion of Skeletor. So it does say he is one of Skeletor's minions, and it has the artwork on the back as seen on the Time Corridor. He also has a time-related accessory called the Infinity Wheel. And there's He-Man, and he's riding on a dragon, which I think is really, really cool. I loved the color scheme for him. They're primary colors, and then there's a little pop of orange. I think that's really, really, really cool. And here is his barcode. I actually picked him up at Walmart. I also picked up Whiplash at Walmart. Right now, the Walmart in my area, and a lot of them, I think most of them, have like a toy display in the main aisle by the toy department. I think it probably depends on the size of your Walmart, whether they have it or not. And they have figures on display in display cases, and they have He-Man figures, wrestling figures, Transformers, Marvel, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and some dolls from, I think it's Descendants, Disney's Descendants. And it's a really cool display. And I've found a lot of new He-Man figures there that I haven't seen anywhere else. And in his wave, you can also get Orko and Grizzlor. I really, really, really want to get Grizzlor, and I really, 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 really want to get Orko. I don't have this cartoon collection Orko, and I love that he looks just like he does in the cartoon. He's very tiny and short. I love it. So I am looking for him every time I go to Walmart, and I am going to be going there later tonight, I think. I go there at least once a week to pick up really cheap groceries. It's one of the cheapest places in my area. So, but I will look for Orko when I'm there. I'm hoping they have him. If they don't, I might get a different figure from this cartoon collection line. And so here is the comic you get with Fang Man. It's called Future Tense. I don't know who this character is right here, but she kind of has a Tila look to her with her design. But she's black and has really cool looking dreadlock kind of braids. I don't know who she is. I'm sure it tells you in the comic. This looks interesting because it looks like we have He-Man from 20XX maybe? That's really cool. And we even have She-Ra in here, and Bo and Frosta. This is really, really cool. This is part 5 of the Horde Invasion saga. So I guess each one of these is part of the saga, and you can read them all in chronological order. I'm going to have to do that. This is pretty cool. Oh, there's Cal the Owl and Glimmer. I really want them to make a Cal the Owl figure in this cartoon collection, and maybe he can have Imp as like a little add-on. That would be really cool. Just package them together. I would love that. So again, we get the pamphlet that shows all the removable parts. So I love that. I love that about these little pamphlets. So what? This was part 2, and this was part 5. So we have some in the middle that we missed, apparently. I probably have them. Maybe I'll have to check later on, and eventually maybe I'll be able to read the whole saga. Alright, so here's Fang Man, and we do have to cut him out of here as well. Here is Fang Man right out of his packaging, and I love him. I love his color scheme so much, which is one of the reasons I picked him up. He has a really cool face, too, and he has like the tongue coming out. This piece of armor he's wearing is actually removable, and you can see where it kind of hooks onto to itself. So underneath this, he probably has... Well, maybe. Is it? Is it not removable? Maybe it's not removable. No, it is rubber, though. So I don't know. It might not be removable, but it looks like it should be. It doesn't have any seams on the side, though, so I don't think it is removable. But he is awesome. I love him. And he would have all the same articulation as the other 2 figures. In fact, his head, it can spin really, really well. So, I love that. And then he has this device right here. It's very cool. It doesn't have a handle on it, so I guess he just holds it like this. Very cool. I like that. And then he can go right here. Okay. And then one final one, we have Whiplash. Now, Whiplash is like one of my favorite He-Man and the Master of the Universe characters. I think they did such a good job on this version of him. Here is the artwork on the back, and he has a rocket launcher, and it says, as seen on the betrayal of Stratos. So apparently there is a whole storyline where you find out Stratos switches sides, and I won't ruin anything other than that, other than just say he switches sides, if you haven't seen it. Now we also get Bo and Shadow Weaver from She-Ra in this wave, and I saw both of these at Walmart, and if they have either of them when I go later tonight, I'll probably pick up one of them. I'm thinking I'm going to get Bo, and I love how he's a special friend who helps She-Ra. And then Shadow Weaver is really cool too. I always thought she looked like her and Orko were somehow related just because of the colors and the way their faces were hidden, but I don't think they ever were. And here's his barcode. So again, we have that 40th anniversary packaging, which I think is awesome that She-Ra has been around for 40 years. So I can show you this. This is a little better look at the packaging where it looks like Castle Grayskull. And I usually keep those cardboard backs because someday I want to make a scrapbook with all the artwork from them. All right, so let me get him out of here. But before we do that, let's look at the comic. So let's see. This one's just called Final Fright. So I guess this is not part of the Horde invasion. And it shows the other figures on the back. And then we open it, and we have, there's Catra, and there's Bo, and Hordak. And it even has Skeletor in here too, which is cool, and He-Man. So very cool. And those look like different versions. That looks like a Horde Skeletor. He has the Horde logo on him. That's pretty cool. I wonder if we're going to get a figure of him like that. Wait, is he helping them? I don't know what's going on, but it almost looks like Skeletor is like helping them. Who knows? I'll have to read those later. And then here is Whiplash's little pamphlet. And his is special. It's double-sided. Those are his removable parts, but it also shows you how to attach his tail. And it just says one-time assembly. So once you put it on, I think it's supposed to stay on there. All right, so we need to get him out of here, and then we will take a look. Here's Whiplash out of his packaging. I haven't attached his tail yet because I wanted to do that on camera. He has such a cool looking face. I love his face. It's so well done. It looks just like the cartoon. His cartoon version was so different looking than the way that he looked as the figure, because the whole thing with these figures in the 80s when these first were coming out is the cartoon was based off the toy line, so it differed slightly in some ways. All right, so here is the tail. He kind of has like a crocodile looking tail, or alligator, which is really cool, I think. So let me get this in here. Okay, so that just snapped right in. Very cool. Now his original figure, he would have a waist that you would turn, and then he would whip. And his tail was rubber, so he would whip his tail. But this one does not do that. These don't really have the gimmicks in them, which is fine, because I think he looks amazing. That is so cool. And then here's his rocket launcher, and we'll give that to him. And he even has one hand that looks like it has a trigger finger. So it looks like he's holding his finger on the trigger, which is cool. And there we go. Now I do have his original version, like from the 80s here. I picked this up a few years ago at a retro toy store that was in the area that unfortunately is no longer in business for the time being. I think they're hoping to reopen at some point. But I actually bought him there, and he was a pretty good price. And this is what I'm talking about. You can whip his tail around. See that? And it's rubber, so it's really, really cool. And then he has his orange spear weapon, and this is his face on the original, and I never quite understood. The tooth in the middle looks like it's coming out of his nose, so I don't know if it's supposed to be like a bone nose ring or something, but I did repaint some of the paint on his head and on his feet and belt and everything, so that he looked like new again. And he's one of my most favorite pieces in my toy collection. But here you can get a look at what they look like side by side. So this is what the cartoon character was based off of, and this is what he looks like in the cartoon. The colors are very different between these two figures too, which I think is really interesting. But yeah, there you have it. And then there's also another Whiplash figure that I have from the Masterverse series, so he's a lot bigger, and he's more in line with the original version. So he has the orange spear, and I think he looks really cool. He has so much detail to him, and he doesn't whip his tail either, but it does spin. So there is that. It's very cool. I love this character, so I try to get every single version of him that I can find. But yeah, so that's Whiplash. So now you know who my all-time favorite He-Man and the Masters of the Universe character is. Whiplash. So yeah, there you have it. So we have Whiplash, we have Hordak, Fang Man, and She-Ra on Swiftwind. All for the 40th anniversary of She-Ra. So you'll have to let me know who is your favorite figure today. I have to pick Whiplash, but She-Ra is like right there behind him, especially Swiftwind. This whole 2-pack is just way too cool. I'm really happy that I picked this up. So let me know down in the comments who your favorite was, or favorites. Maybe you liked more than one. And also let me know if there were any other characters not here from She-Ra or He-Man and the Masters Universe who are your favorite. I'd love to know who your favorite character was. Mine is probably Cowl. And like I said, I would love to see Cowl as a figure in this line and come with Imp. And maybe even Lookie could come with them. It could be like a little 3-pack of the 3 figures because they're all small. So anyway, that's my idea, and I really hope they do it. There is a bug in here. Go away, bug. I don't know where that came from. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like. Hype the video as well. Also, share the video with anyone you think might want to see any of these figures. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and make sure to hit that bell for notifications, because I've heard that people aren't seeing videos from people they're subscribed to in their feed without clicking that bell notification. You can also use the subscription tab to keep track of all my new videos. They'll be in there in the order that they are released, along with anyone else you subscribe to. So thank you guys so much. Again, take care out there. Love you guys. Bye. A special shout out to all my members. Thank you guys so much. Also, thank you to all my subscribers, new and old. Without you, these videos would not be possible. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.